Aloha friends, welcome to part 2 of Basic Ukulele Setup. My objective for today is 12th fret action measure and some basic tools needed. Okay, so we measure the action on the 12th fret by using an action gauge ruler, which looks like that. I've already marked my preference where I like my action, and then I marked where it might be a little low and a little too high. So I go to my 12th fret and I put the action gauge ruler behind the string. Let me turn this around so that you can see. Okay. And as you see, it's showing right at 90. Right at 90. That's the perfect measure. So I don't need to take this action down or make it higher. This is already set up by me. So perfectly under the 90. This is measured in millimeters, and the ideal height is between 2.5 and 3 millimeters. Action, high action or low action are a matter of preference. Fingerstyle solo players like low action for the speed and agility moving from one string to the other, while heavy players like a slightly higher action for harder strumming. There is a rule that you follow when you lower your action. Let me put it in simple terms. If you measure your action and it is 3 millimeters high and you want to drop it down to 2 millimeters high, that's 1 millimeter of drop that you want to drop it. So you double that and you drop it by 2 millimeters. So it's a 2 millimeter drop. You drop it, you double the drop. After you've taken careful measurements, you're going to loosen up your strings. You're going to take out the saddle carefully. When you take the saddle out, you want to make sure that you label it so that you know that you have where your A string is and where your front is and where your G is, so that you do not put it in backwards. Once you do that and you've decided you're going to take how much you're going to take off the saddle, you take it off from the bottom of the saddle, from the bottom. So you're going to measure it with your action ruler, and you are going to use a ruler like so. All right, you put your little dots so you know that you're making a straight line, and then you just simply make the line across. Now that's how much you're going to take off from the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. You might need a Sharpie pencil or something. You are going to use medium grit paper, and you're going to need a flat surface. You cannot do this on top of a book. You cannot do this on top of a blanket. It has to be a hard surface. And once you do that, you're going to go back and forth action this way. I've heard people saying go around in circles. I've heard people say forward and backward. What works better for me? Flat surface, anything that's flat, and you're going to go forward and backwards. All right, do not apply pressure on either side, just go slightly back and forth. Check it periodically to make sure that you have not gone above the line. I rather shoot for under the line than over the line, because you can always go back and sand more. All right, and then once you're done doing that, you put the saddle back on. You take your measurements again. If you're happy with your measurements, then that part of the deal is done. If you want to take it down by more, I would suggest not. If you're a beginner, then you can do that. You tune up your strings, and then you're ready to play. All right? So now let's take a look at some of the tools that I use. I'm a gadget person. I love tools. If you want to have the job done and you want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, you're going to need some basic tools. You're going to need, of course, your straight edge, and a straight edge is just a 12-inch ruler that you can use to measure the straightness on the neck. This is a must. This is your string action ruler. You can purchase these on Amazon for like $8.99. They have one that says Baroque Ukulele, which has the measurements for ukulele, but I believe the measurements are all the same. You're going to need your gauge fillers, which are very crucial for your first fret action. These come in different gauges. You can substitute that for a cut-up credit card to clear your first fret action. You are going to need nut height files, and these go for, by the way, the gauge fillers, I saw these are StuMag, but you could get them for like $7.49 in Amazon, and no name brand and up. I recently just purchased these, but they are high quality. They're expensive. But here's a set that you can buy, nut height files, which is just a bunch of little round files. They come in all different sizes, and you use this to file the slot on your nut for your first string action. Then of course, if you can use a set of magnifying glass, that would be great. You will probably need needle nose pliers to help you take out the nut. You're going to need one of these little guys to prop the neck on your instrument. You will definitely need a cushion for your instrument. I would not put my instrument on a surface where it's going to get scratched up, because you need to move it back and forth. You are also going to need a set of sandpaper. You can get these at the dollar store. And then you have the different grits. You're going to need medium grit. I have a bunch of it. You're going to probably want to have some cloths to clean up. Quadruple zero steel wool if you need to fine clean the frets. And if you do not have any of these things, you can use a ruler. However, try to find a ruler that doesn't have the mark that starts flush, right? Instead of one that gives you the zero marking before, where is this? The zero markings before it starts marking the first centimeter. All right, what else did I miss? Oh, one handy thing to have is a caliper. Calipers are not that expensive. I purchased this one for $22 at Lowe's. These come in handy. So these are the basic tools that you're gonna need to do your ukulele setup. And of course, you're gonna need a nice working area. There's my toolbox, but I don't know. Okay, I hope this information gave you more of an insight on basic ukulele setup. I challenge you to start trying some of these tips on your own, because only you can make your uke play the way you really want it. And it's a lifetime long skill to have. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more details about ukulele tips and info. And the next segment, I will take you step by step on how to do the setup. Aloha, friends.